podcast. Hello and welcome back to the Brew Games podcast. I'm Joe Evans.
And I'm Adam Eliason. You explain what? This is episode 7, sorry, titled Conditioned. So why don't you tell us why we're doing this?
So we're doing this podcast because Adam and I love to drink beer. If you're a follower of the show already, you might have seen our Countdown to Christmas series during the month of December, where we did a advent calendar from Phillips Brewing Company.
And some of them were fantastic.
Yes. And we also have a love of video games, and we have extensive Steam collections from Steam sales over the last few years. And a lot of those games are games that we've never touched because we have so many games. So we've challenged each other to those games on our lists. And we also try and go out and find beers that we haven't had yet and challenge each other to those as well.
That's right. We just had the Steam Christmas sale. Did you buy anything by any chance?
You know, I was hoping for some good picks. This year was really disappointing. I did pick up a couple games, but they're all like indie games. Like games I've never ever heard of, and they seemed pretty interesting. So I was like, yeah, you know what, throw a few bucks at them and pick them up. So, but for the AAA titles or even AA titles, I didn't see anything worth picking up, or if there was, I already owned it. So
yeah, I was a little disappointed this year too.
Yeah,
maybe that's because we have all the games, or most of the games that we want. And
could be.
They might have been on a huge discount, but we already had them, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, I just felt it was more of an indie year this year on Steam.
That is, they are getting way more popular.
Yeah.
And I don't play a lot of indie games, so it's kind of meh for
might
me,
be a good excuse this year for us to start playing indie games.
Maybe.
Alright.
As long as it's better than Prison Architect. Anyways, let's get on to my beer for you.
Okay, sounds good.
I've had this one for almost since our last episode, but I'm sure it's still fine. I got you the Alameda Klickitat Pale Ale.
Okay.
Let you start pouring that while I talk about it. It's from Beaumont Village in northeast Portland. The brewery started in 1996 with a 5-barrel operation. They're now up to a 20-barrel capacity alongside the 5-barrel one. It was named after a local street which gained fame as a location in the Henry Huggins and Ramona Quimby books, written by Beverly Cleary. I didn't read those, so it didn't ring a bell for me.
Doesn't ring a bell for me either. Maybe somebody out there knows about those?
Maybe. They describe the beer as just the right amount of caramel and Munich malts give this beer a perfect amber color and mouth feel. But what really sends it to the top are 3 different editions of Northwest-grown Cascade hops. Each edition highlights different aspects of the hops. The spicy, floral, and citrus notes make this beer a favorite. It's 5.3%. It got an 80 on Beer Advocate and was $9.99 at the Liquor Depot in Edmonton. So let's travel 300 kilometers to be here.
Well, I would say it's well worth the travel. It's
Really?
actually a fantastic beer, in my opinion.
Nice.
Not your typical pale ale. It's a lot more muted on the hoppiness. None of those high note hops. I do taste the different hops in there that you were talking about, but they're all more subtle. But the floral part definitely
Really?
is in there. Yeah, like it's actually kind of dancing around on my tongue a little bit, on my taste buds. Different flavors, which is pretty cool.
Interesting. I haven't tried it, so I don't... I mean, I probably agree with you. We seem to agree a lot. But
Yeah.
Can't say for sure. So is it worth... Like, this is fairly expensive at $10 a beer. Is it worth $10 a beer?
It is pretty high up there. I'd say yes. Yeah.
Really?
I'd say it's worth the $10.
Nice. I'm glad. I'm glad the money didn't go to waste.
Yeah. It's actually one of my more favorite beers on the show so far, I think.
Interesting. I'm going
I
to
think
give
I
this a
put
try.
this as a top 3. Yeah.
Wow.
Very, very good.
It's good for one I didn't research at all. I just kind of saw on the shelf and said, hey, this looks good.
Yeah. It's a really cool label. It's like a native design on the front there.
I'm sure you'll put up a nice close-up of it.
Yeah, we'll have the label up on the YouTube video as usual.
Nice. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, so that'll go into my beer for you. So like you, I've had this since pretty much the last episode we did. This is the Porterhouse Brewing Company Oyster Stout from Ireland.
Nice.
And the cap I thought was pretty unique too. It's a pull-off tab, which I've not seen on a beer since pictures from like the 60s and stuff. So
I was going to say, I'm not old enough to
Yeah.
have had a beer with a pull-off tab.
So this one got 84 on Rate Beer and 83 on Beer Advocate, so pretty consistent, pretty highly rated. It's 4.6% ABV. It's Irish dry stout with 4 grains and 3 hops. The grains are pale malt, roast barley, black malt, and flaked barley. And the hops are Galena, a Nugget, and a East Kent Goldings. And their description for the beer is, becoming Porterhouse's best-selling stout is superbly balanced, smooth, and rounded without being bland. And more sweetness derived from fresh oysters being shucked into the conditioning tank.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's not called Oyster Stout just for a name?
No, they actually shuck oysters into the conditioning tank. And for a description of the brewery, Liam Lahart and Oliver Hughes opened the first porterhouse in 1989. And they specialized in importing various beers from around the world, with a focus on Belgium. Which, of course, I think any beer drinker knows that Belgium's pretty much the king of the land when it comes to beer.
That's what many say, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I agree with it. I love Belgian beers.
kind of on
Yeah.
Belgian beers, to be honest. I know like a lot of people like them. I know they're really high up there, and I've had some that are fantastic, granted. But normally when I get a Belgian beer, like at the BSB passport, whatever, I'm not too excited. But this is actually really good.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Have you had it before?
I have not, but I've seen it on the shelf every single time I go to Willow Park. And at first I was going to buy it for myself, but then I figured I might buy it for you. But it does come in a 4-pack for about $16.
Nice.
So we've got 4 bottles in total, so I'm sure there'll be some left over for me to try for the show.
Nice.
Oh.
I do like oysters. I don't know if I taste the oysters or I just think I'm tasting it because you mentioned it. It's not a very strong taste. So if you're really against seafood, I wouldn't shy away from this by any means. It's pretty dark. For a stout, it's pretty good. It's not terribly strong. But it's I do quite enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I now get why you also called the episode conditioned. Because they just shuck the oysters into the conditioning tank.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. A little bit more history about the brewery.
Sure.
So in 1996, they opened the Porterhouse in Temple Bar, putting in Ireland's first brew pub. So they were the first brew pub in Ireland in 1996, which kind of blows my mind. I thought there'd be brew pubs before then.
Like a long time before then.
But they're the first brew pub.
Oh.
In 1999, they opened Porterhouse in Covent Garden, London, followed by Porterhouse in Glasnevin, Dublin in 2003. And in 2004, they purchased Lily's Bordello and created the Porterhouse Central on Nassau Street in Dublin. And most recently, they actually opened a bar in New York in a historic tavern called France's Tavern.
Nice.
So they've been spreading around quite a bit since 1996.
Right on.
Yeah.
While you were saying that, I was trying to think of another way to describe this because you're always so descriptive with your beers, and I'm just like, it's good, yeah. But it's really, they say it doesn't come on strong, they say it's smooth without being bland, but it's almost on the bland side.
Yeah.
It's not very strong. It's not not like Guinness or anything stronger than that. It's very easy drinking.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's...
So do you agree with
Nothing sticks
the
out.
sweetness popping through from the oyster?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is quite sweet.
Yeah. That's good. Well, that'll do it for the beers, I think.
I think so.
We'll move on to the games.
Let's do it.
So I challenged you on the last episode to Bully by Rockstar Games.
Yeah, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So, Bully is made by Rockstar. It's basically Grand Theft Auto for kids, or a PG version of Grand Theft Auto. Have you played it?
I've not played it.
Have you seen people play it?
I have not seen people play it.
Okay. Well, you play as a student at Bulworth Academy, and you run around the school, and you can go to class, or you can skip class, sorry. But it's a lot like Grand Theft Auto. You ride bikes instead of cars. The police are hall monitors instead of actual police. If your wanted level gets too high, like jail is detention rather than jail. You do like menial tasks like shovel snow to get out of detention.
Okay.
And like a minigame, the gangs or like groups like you normally have in Grand Theft Auto are just the cliques in the school, like the jocks or the preps or the greasers or the nerds.
Okay.
And yeah, you can like win respect from them or like go against them, but you don't really have a choice. It's just like the missions, the main missions that you follow.
Dictates the outcome. Okay.
Yeah, there's zero choice involved at all.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, greaser respect +5, nerd respect -5, but that's just how the mission goes. You have no choice.
Okay. So you don't have like multiple missions where you can go down this tree or that tree?
No.
It's just that's the storyline.
That's the storyline.
Okay.
But one thing I found kind of weird is people are always getting beaten up. Like, always. And wherever you go, people are getting... The hall monitors do nothing. But
yeah.
That's,
I mean, it is called Bully, so...
That's true. It is a school for... they say it's a school for troubled children, but there's also some very rich kids that go there, which is...
Yeah, but rich kids being troubled, right? They're spoiled brats that's you know...
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you do decide to go to class, you play a mini game, and it's kind of different for each class. Like in gym, you play dodgeball, or in music, you play like Guitar Hero or something fairly close to it. But playing on PC, on Steam, obviously, you're a drummer in music class, and you use both Alt keys to hit the drum.
Okay.
And
did you activate sticky keys doing that?
No, but I found out my keyboard. You can't press both Alt keys at the same time and have it register.
Okay.
So I'd have to, like, if you're supposed to hit them at the same time, I'd have to hit them just off one another.
Yeah.
So the keyboard would register it.
So would the game allow you to do it that way?
It's a very easy game. You're not...
Okay, so
like,
it's very forgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You're not being challenged by this game at all, I can tell you that. But it's still fun. I'll get into that a bit after. But my first complaint is you can't change the controls. It's like a normal Rockstar console port.
Okay.
Which I've complained about on games before, but it's especially bad on this because you use Alt to drum and Alt to run. You use Alt a lot in this game. I've never seen Alt used in a game before. But you use Alt a lot, but you use Tab to look at the map. So when if you're sprinting and you want running away from something, you want to look at your map and where to go, you hit Alt to run. And you hit Tab to see the map, and you've Alt-tabbed out of the game.
It's a huge design flaw.
Yeah, you can't change the controls.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder if there's hacks out there where you can like hack a config file or something to change it.
Probably.
Yeah.
But there's so many other keys they could have used, like the R key for reload, or F or G or Q or Z. None of those are used. They mean nothing in this game. So I don't know why they picked Alt. But.
Yeah, I mean, in most games, when it comes to running or walking, you use shift, right?
Yeah.
So shift either to run or to walk.
Yeah.
If you
it's either a toggle or you hold to sprint. But,
yeah, like with Counter-Strike, you're always running, you hold shift to walk. But something like Call of Duty, you're always walking, you hold shift to run.
Yeah.
So, very interesting choice by them to use Alt for sure.
It's a fairly small part of it. It's really, but the game felt really buggy to me. It felt kind of unpolished, like. Something would happen, like a person would glitch into a wall or something, and then everyone would start running around like a bomb went off. Like, and then kind of like you couldn't interact with some people sometimes because everyone's sprinting everywhere trying to run away from...
Well, if you were in high school and you're walking down the hallway and all of a sudden, like, somebody in your school just, like, goes halfway through a wall and gets stuck...
Harry Potter style.
Would you hang around or would you run that all the way?
Okay. That's true.
Yeah. I don't think it was intentional. Obviously, it was a glitch because it's being ported, but I think...
Good point.
Yeah, you can always
You're
rationalize...
full of good points this episode. Yeah.
Rationalize the glitch.
Fair enough. So, my thought when I saw these things was it was almost a tech demo for a new engine.
Okay.
But no, it's the same engine that Fallout 3 uses and Oblivion uses, which blew me away.
Okay.
Because they didn't feel the same at all.
Yeah.
But also, why is Rockstar using the same engine as Bethesda or whatever?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one. Usually they just make their own engines, right?
Yeah. Either way, it's still fun. It's, I don't know if it happens to me a lot, but I don't know if this happens to you, where like you have a Sunday or a day to play games, but you don't want to play anything you've already played.
Yeah.
But you don't want to start anything super new, you don't want to learn like a whole new system.
Yeah, you just want something to just jump into that you already kind of feel comfortable with, but haven't really touched before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is this game.
Okay.
If you want something that's familiar, but you haven't played before, so you don't know what's going to happen or whatever, this is the game you want to play. It's easy to jump into. It's an easy game. It's a lot of fun despite the glitches, and it's.
So it's a perfect lazy Sunday game.
It is.
Yeah.
But it took me. I meant to look this up, but I forgot. It took me 20 or 30 something hours to beat this game.
Okay.
No side missions, no achievements, nothing. So, I think I got it on sale for $5, and you definitely get your money's worth out of it.
Yeah.
You won't beat it in a Sunday, but it's a perfect lazy Sunday game to play.
Awesome.
So I'd highly recommend it.
Cool.
Now, what game did I challenge you to? I kind of forget.
You challenged me to Tomb Raider.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. So
this is one of my. I really liked this game. I really, really liked this
yeah.
game. So I hope you did too. But
yeah, I liked the game. But okay, I'll say why I liked it a lot. Beautiful, number one. Like probably the most gorgeous game I've played so far.
Really?
Just the amount of detail in the environment and everything, just awesome. Character details, awesome. Yeah, very fun, easy to play. Only thing I don't like for play style is the QuickTime events. This game goes hard with them.
And sure
it's
does.
very, very, very unforgiving with their QuickTime events. So it'll flash on your screen, and that's part of the problem is it's flashing, so it's blinking in and out of visibility, and it only does it for about 3 seconds. So if you're a person with a slow reaction time, like myself, I actually have a pretty slow reaction time.
But you play Counter-Strike.
Yes. But Counter-Strike, you get muscle memory and map awareness, and I'd be a lot better if I had better reaction time. But I do okay with my bad reaction time. I kind of have to compensate for it a bit. You remember in high school when they do the ruler, the meter stick drop test?
Yeah. And you have to grab
it. Grab it right away, and
yep.
everyone would be right at the beginning. Yep. I'd be near the end.
Okay.
That's how slow my reaction time is. So I got a bad reaction time, always have. And so these QuickTime events pop up, and as I'm trying to process what key is telling me to push, by the time I do it, most of the time it's too late, and either I get shot in the head, or something goes impaling through my chest, or I get crushed by a rock or whatever.
It's not like you have to work a little harder in the game. It's if you don't do it, you die.
Yeah, and then they have two different types of QuickTime events. There's not just push the key within a certain amount of time. There's also the rhythm game type, there's a circle that's closing in on another circle, and you have to get it within that time. So I was trying to compensate for my reaction time by being proactive, kind of learning that, okay, something's going to happen, so I need to get ready for a QuickTime event.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd push it too soon, and then I'd die anyways.
Yeah.
So this game, for me, was pretty frustrating in that regard because of my reaction time. I couldn't compensate for it. I had to just suffer the death, redo it until I got it through.
But the death scenes are awesome, are they not?
Yeah. They're pretty gruesome. They're pretty graphic.
We talked about this a bit in the last episode, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the last episode we talked about Batman, right? Where if you die there, it's so both games have pretty interesting death scenes, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
When you die, it's not just fade to black, you're dead.
Yeah.
They show you something that's pretty in your face.
Yeah.
Whether it's someone laughing at you, or in this case, you
propeller
just brutally being
propeller going through your skull. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Beyond the QuickTime events, game is fantastic. I had a minor not even a real gripe, just a minor gripe with the sequencing. So early on in the game, when you first get a bow, so you're able to hunt stuff. You have to hunt down a deer because you're hungry, and you're like holding your stomach like, oh my god, I'm so hungry. I need to eat right now. So you have to go down the stream into the woodland to find these deer. And I found a deer right away at the stream. So I took my bow and I shot him in the neck, and then he kind of ran away. So I had to like follow him. He went upstream and then started coming back towards me. So I shot him again in the chest, and then he collapsed in the stream. So I go walk up to it to like harvest it for its meat and everything, and then the game cuts into its own control of playing out the scene of you gutting it and everything.
Yeah.
But I noticed that it pulled you away from the stream into like a preset area where they scripted that scene to play out.
Yeah.
So it kind of pulled me out of the game a little bit, being like, well, I killed it in the stream. I want to see like the blood going down the stream.
Yeah.
Like that's where I killed it. That's where I want to gut it. But you know, it has its certain areas for certain scenes to play out in.
Maybe you should drag it out of the stream. It'd be pretty tough to gut a deer in a stream.
Yeah, maybe. But even to show it like you pulling it towards a certain location, maybe. But
yeah.
Other than that, it's a fantastic game. I love it. Feels a lot like Far Cry 3.
Which I loved Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
It's not the same developer though, is it?
No, so it's Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix getting together to do Tomb Raider. So Crystal Dynamics did all the programming for it, and then Square Enix was the publisher. Whereas with Far Cry, I believe it's
Ubisoft. Yeah.
And they're using the Crytek engine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I loved Far Cry 3, and I loved this game, so that's probably possibly why I liked both games so much.
Yeah, and they were released around the same time. Far Cry 3 was released November 29th, 2012. And then Tomb Raider was released March 5th, 2013. So
4 months.
within, 4 to 5 months they were released.
Nice.
So
Highly recommend both.
both fantastic games. Got the crafting system from both games in each one.
Yeah.
Storyline I thought was very similar too. You get onto an island and you get pulled away from your group and you have to try and regroup. And it's a very similar story in that regard, but they have their own takes, of course. So
the ending of Tomb Raider is a little hokey. I don't know if you've gotten there or not, but
no, I haven't gotten nearly that far. I'm only a few hours in, so
that was probably my only gripe about Tomb Raider was the ending, but that's okay. I still look forward to the next one, and I'll still probably buy it on release. I won't wait for a Steam sale.
Yeah.
All right, that's the end of the games.
Yeah. So we'll go into our mailbag.
Are we gonna challenge each other first, or we need a mailbag first?
Oh yeah, challenge. I guess we should do that. So we'll go with your challenge to me first.
Okay. I don't know if you saw this on the screen or not, but I'm challenging you to Just Cause 2.
Okay.
Which I'm surprised you haven't played. But this game's a lot of fun, and it's just absurd. It's ridiculous. It's not a serious game in any way. You're on an island trying to overthrow some evil dictator or something that's kind of like irrelevant. It's just like some storyline they threw together. It's you have like this grapple you can use, and like physics kind of bend.
Okay.
So you can like grapple onto a plane and then like parachute to like jump up and then grapple onto something else, or like zip line. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. You just run around blowing things up.
I've seen some
Everything
videos of
blows
this
up.
on like Reddit and stuff.
Almost
like,
everything's
people do
explosives.
ridiculous
And,
things.
you'll have a lot of fun. It's like spend a few hours and you just.
I heard it's like the ultimate sandbox game, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's a lot of fun, and you just run around blowing things up. You don't even care about the missions. You just kind of, run around, have fun.
Yeah.
Shoot things. I think you'll like it.
Awesome. I'm going to check the camera just because I have a feeling it's going to cut out soon.
Sure. You should really set a timer.
In fact, it wasn't even morning. Yeah.
The whole time?
Yeah. I probably let me push it. This guy, so we have multiple cameras.
Now we're on to you.
So, the game I'm challenging you to is Transformers: The War for Cybertron.
Nice.
So this is a game that it was announced, and I saw the trailer for it,
Which
and I was
had
like,
Pussifer as the music, right?
I believe so.
It's
Yeah.
like Optimus holding Bumblebee after he's like almost dead or something.
Yeah, it's like
I remember
super
seeing this
cinematic and
yeah.
everything. I was like, oh my god, this looks amazing! Finally, like a good Transformer game.
That's exactly what
And
I
was
thought
like,
too.
it's like coming soon, so I had no idea when it was gonna come out.
Yeah.
And then I didn't hear anything else about it. And I was like, I had no idea. And I was looking through your list of games today. Actually, I waited till today to actually pick a game for you, and I was like, I remember that game.
Yeah.
So I was like, you already own it, and I was like, I want to see what this game's all about. So since you own it, I want you to play it for both of us.
Nice.
And let us know if it's as epic as that trailer made it seem.
That's the exact trailer I was thinking of. We didn't talk about this
Yeah.
beforehand. We didn't talk about this beforehand. But it's like Pussifer playing the Humbling River song. That's
Yeah.
like what introduced me to that band, and I like them now. So I think it was them. It's like all sentimental, like Optimus holding Bumblebee, who's like hurt.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta like fight back or whatever.
Yeah.
And it looked awesome.
Yeah. It
And
looks
then,
super awesome.
Like you said, you hear nothing about when it was actually released. And then I saw it on sale sometime later for like $10, I think. Oh, the trailer looked cool. I might play it someday. And
Yeah.
I guess I'll play it now.
Yeah, so it's funny because actually it was dating between two games. I had a game picked out, but as I was scrolling down your list, I found this game. But the funny thing is these two games actually have something in common. The game I picked for you, Transformers, and the game I had picked before.
Which I'm guessing.
So think
will
of
be my
another
next
game
one.
that had an amazing trailer that failed to deliver on that trailer. It was a really big thing about 3 years ago.
Now, is it like we never heard of when it was released, or it was released and it just never delivered and wasn't that good?
It was released and then just did not deliver. The trailer hyped it up so good. We're like, this looks like the most amazing game I've ever seen in my life. And then the gameplay was absolutely nothing to do with the trailer.
Normally I would ask for some time to think about it, but that would make for a boring show. So.
The hint is, this is at the beginning of the huge zombie revival.
Daisy?
Dead Island.
Dead Island? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That amazing trailer where, like, the father's saving his little daughter and, like, the zombies are trying to come through the bedroom. You remember that trailer?
I might have seen it or just forgotten about it.
Okay. Well, I'll put that trailer in the YouTube
Okay.
version because that was one trailer everyone was
I would not
like,
have
what
guessed
is this
that.
game? Never heard of this company before, like a new gaming company.
Riptide?
Dead Island Riptide was the second game.
Oh, okay. I thought Riptide was the developer.
Maybe.
Probably not.
Probably not. I have no idea who the developer is, but yeah, so we'll have you play Transformers and see if it's going to fall in the same fate as Dead Island or if it's going to stay true to the soul of the trailer and be an awesome game.
All right. I'll let you guys know in a couple weeks.
Awesome.
Now on to the mailbag.
Yes. Now properly onto the mailbag. So
We got an email
Since-
from Mike,
From Mike,
a while ago.
Wanna go ahead and read it?
We had a bit of a break.
yeah.
So he said, I recently watched episodes 4 and 5. I have 2 questions for you guys. 1, do you still have one of the forced copies available? And yes, we do. So we'll send you a copy, Mike.
Yep, for sure.
And number 2, he says, you guys spoke about a 24-hour gaming session for charity, which was Daryl was doing Extra Life.
Yep.
Adam was mentioning how hard gaming was for that long. How long it truly is. It is pretty hard.
No.
So my question is, what is the longest game session each of you has logged? So I'll let you start.
So I think the longest I've gone through would be when I used to work with a local LAN party called LANageddon here in Calgary. And I spent the entire day playing games, and then it was my job to stay up all night and just be available for people if they have any issues, network issues, viruses, whatever, the computer breaks. Kind of help them out with troubleshooting as well as kind of play part of the security team as well. Make sure people don't walk out with someone's computer or monitor or whatever. So that probably lasted me up about 30 hours, I think. So it was definitely over 24 hours during that time. Probably around 30 hours or so.
Nice.
And you?
Mine was my first year at Fragapalooza, where I had not learned how to pace myself. It was my first year at Fragapalooza, but I was also volunteering. It's a LAN party in Edmonton, by the way. This was in 2004. And I don't remember how much I gamed in one period. I mean, just remember like my totals for the most of the weekend. It was around 100 hours awake and 5 hours of sleep. So I haven't done that again. It was ridiculous.
So did you take like 2 days to recover after that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And at the time after it, I slept the longest I'd ever slept.
Yeah. You get up and you like maybe eat something and then you go back to bed again.
I don't remember. I think I slept 15 hours after the event.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a long haul.
Don't recommend it. I haven't done it since. I still volunteer, but I sleep as well.
You set up a proper schedule. Yeah. Speaking of LAN parties, we have a LAN party coming up at the end of January here, don't we?
We do. The last weekend of January and the first day of February.
Yeah.
In Edmonton.
So Mega FPS, as we've mentioned before on the show, with the HoloLAN, they're now doing a Jan LAN. So it'll be up in Edmonton at the
Fulton Place.
Fulton Place Community Hall.
Yeah, so it's Friday night to Sunday morning. Bring your PC. It's $20 for the weekend. You can sleep at the venue. It's a good time.
Yep. About wrap it up, I think.
Almost. We still have some prizes to give away.
Yes. Yes. So we'll announce the winner of day 12 of our countdown to Christmas, and that was actually Tyson, who was our first guest on the show. So
right.
He correctly identified when the very first episode was that we mentioned the shirts.
Yep.
Which he happened to be on that episode. So.
But we have taken him 2 guesses, even though he was on the episode.
His first guess was wrong, because I think he was thinking that what was the first time we mentioned it for the countdown to Christmas.
Countdown to Christmas.
But we're like, no, of all the shows combined, so he came back right away.
Yeah.
We waited a day to reply back to him saying,
just in case someone else replied with the correct answer.
Yeah, so we gave everyone watching a chance to get it right before we told him he was wrong.
Yeah.
But he came through and got it right, so we got a shirt on its way to Tyson. Mm-hmm. If you guys watch Day 24 and...
Day 24 of the Countdown to Christmas.
Countdown to Christmas. We had another contest where we're giving away 2 shirts at that point and a phone case.
That's right.
And
it's now January 8th on this day of recording.
Yeah.
It'll be posted a few days later. But still no one has claimed those shirts.
Not yet.
So even if you're watching this episode even months later, and you're like, hey, I wonder if anyone's claimed... Like, I'm just catching up on the Christmas ones now, and I wonder if anyone claimed those shirts. Probably not. So, can't hurt to try, right?
Yeah, might as well try.
You got 2 shirts to give away and a phone case of your choosing. You don't have to worry about whether it fits your phone or not.
Yeah.
Unless you have a flip
to a
phone or
certain
something.
degree. Like, if you have a Galaxy S3 or S4, you're good to go. If you have an iPhone...
Newer iPhone. Yeah.
5/5S or an iPhone 6, then you're good to go. And you can get yourself a case. We'll be adding more cases as our suppliers makes them available.
Nice.
But yeah, I guess that'll wrap it up for episode 7.
I think so.
Okay.
Okay. See you guys for episode 8.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Babe, you want a job? A position has opened up with Brew Games Podcast.
Doing what?
Camera operator.
Don't fire me! I can change!